Hi guys, good evening. It's Monday night. I'm laying in my bed. It's around 10 to 10. I got out of work around 8. Then I had to go get gas and pick up a few things at Rite Aid. I'm so broke right now I had to use my Care credit card. Although one of the things I admit I did buy was a pack of cigarettes, which I used my debit for because Care credit used to go for anything at Rite Aid, but I guess now you can't buy cigarettes, which makes sense. I mean, it's a health and a care credit card, hence the name. So that was my evening. I had a hell of a day at work today. I had uploaded 2 videos earlier, which I don't know if anyone saw them or not, but I deleted them for various reasons, as I always say, for, like privacy and my own protection, but also because I regret when I sound really ranty and really negative and maybe almost even kind of bitter and accusatory in my tones, which isn't fair to anybody watching me. Like, my life right now is full of problems and stress and a lot of emotional ups and downs and upheaval, and I'm not in a great place mentally or emotionally. But like, I can't take that out on my subscribers and viewers and friends because it doesn't, I mean, it is good to kind of elicit empathy and support and get advice and stuff, but ultimately it doesn't really help me unless I buckle down and do the work that I have to do, because there's nobody coming to rescue me. There's nobody coming to rescue anybody. Well, maybe some people do rescue others. Those of you who are fortunate enough to be in good supportive relationships. Yeah. My job right now is stressing me out so bad. It's like I'm almost kind of concerned that I can't cry about it. Like, I'm glad I'm not drinking over it. I'll still say, no matter how bad, like, I'm eating lately or over smoking or not sleeping enough or being kind of manic, whatever, I'm really proud of myself that no matter how bad I feel, I'm not drinking over it. Because this type of day, this series of days and weeks lately, I mean, it's always been a stressful job, but lately, this could have set me into a tremendous binge. I don't mean food, I mean alcohol. And it's like every day I say I'm gonna get back my diet, my journey, whatever, healthful, mindful eating. And every day I say I'm gonna quit smoking. Hang on a minute, I'm gonna wipe off my lens because me in the red light here with like just the blanket up over my bare torso looks really kinky and twisted, but it's just like, hi guys, come cuddle in bed with me and let's chit chat about my day. I got like nothing done tonight. I did the bare minimum. Whenever I say the bare minimum, I mean like I changed my cat's water and my parakeet's water, fed the ducks outside, changed the litter box, took out garbage or brought in the pails, and checked my mail. I mean, that's all I can do after a day of work that leaves me so drained on every level. And please don't say quit your job or get something different. I don't mean that unkindly. I just mean like it's really not easy in my situation in life right now to just jump ship and get something else, because in my long work history I've learned that the shit is just everywhere. It's in food service, it's in retail, it's in customer service, it's in caregiving. It's the bottom of the barrel, it's like the dregs. The morale is so low because the pay is so low. The hours are long. The shit that trickles downstream from management down to like low level. In the company, I think I've mentioned before, I'm considered a mobile, which means I'm still a DSP, but I go to different houses. Which I find ironic because I actually do double and triple the work of pretty much anybody who's part of a regular house staff, and I get paid the least. And I literally fill in for every position, every duty, and every obligation of the job, aside from giving meds, and I get paid the least, and get the least amount of respect, the least amount of regard. It's almost like a running joke in the company when the term just a mobile. I never like to say the word just as a preface to any self-description because we all are what we are, and there's no just about it. There's no just a ditch digger. There's no just a coffee server. There's no just a burger flipper, a stock boy. We're all cogs in a wheel, cogs in a machine. We're all pieces of a puzzle, and people can put on airs and have their arrogant egos power trips all they want with titles and salary, and it looks great on paper, and it does impress a fuck ton of people, but it doesn't impress me. I'm no saint. I have a shitty attitude lately, but integrity, character, honesty, honor, respect, and communication, authenticity is paramount to me above any bank account, any house, any car, any clothing, any handbag, anything. And I'm poor as dirt, but I'm, when I go to bed sober and I went to work and I did my job and I related to the people and helped people that need help, I do go to sleep at night with a very clear conscience, knowing that I did a good thing, and I was true to myself, and I'm a very hard worker. Having said that, I feel so beaten down and so discouraged, angry. And I got in my car after work, and it was like I tried to cry just to get it out, because it is healthy to cry and release the chemicals and the stress and all that. But I'm just so numb lately and so robotic, and so I need to discuss it with my therapist on Thursday and see if it's not just garden variety bipolar, but if it's dysthymia or dysthemia, however you want to pronounce it, which is a real apathy toward life and just a tremendous autopilot. You get in this zone where there's so many specific things I could say about today, but my mind gets blank when I get saturated and overloaded and overwhelmed with stress. I hate being disrespected. To me, anybody can call me ugly, old, wrinkled, tired looking, fat, uneducated. You can make fun of almost any aspect of me, and I'll just be like, whatever, fuck you. You're bitter and jealous and petty and whatever. But when people act like I'm stupid, when I know I'm not stupid, man, that pisses me off, because I could brag, but I think people who brag are, fucking assholes. And I don't want to be known as a narcissist or an egomaniac, but I know I have an intellect, and I know I'm overqualified for this job. I've got a huge background of caregiving experience and just relating to people and communication experience. And the fact that I'm my age in life, with everything I've gone through and raising my kids and surviving 2 shitty marriages and the fucking cult and health problems and alcoholism and being estranged from my entire fucking family. Pardon all the swearing, but I guess now my anger is coming to the surface a bit because I'm finally in bed and relaxing a little. Whoa. Okay, that's because I got a notification on Facebook. I'm glad my tits weren't totally out. I'll never get monetized anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'll swear all I want. But, yeah, somebody disrespected me really bad today a couple of times in a way that you could tell that they were giving me digs and insults, and they didn't even think I was quick enough or smart enough to pick up on it. And what I get mad about isn't even so much someone else being a total dick to me, or a cunt, but what makes me mad is that they don't think I know what's going on, and that I don't always have the presence of mind for a quick, snappy comeback or something that just can level people. I'm always in awe of people who don't take shit from others and who can give it right back, or just freeze them out and completely ignore them. I'm getting a little bit better at that, but I have a medical background, okay, and there's a lot of doctors and nurses in my family. I know a lot about meds. I know a lot about conditions. I know a lot about what medications do, side effects. I have a lot of common sense. And when people talk to me like I'm a fucking child, the same coworkers who sometimes verbally abuse our residents or, cut corners or slack off or throw other workers under the bus, or just, there's a million and one examples I could give you in the course of a day or a week, but today in particular, something was said that was so heinous, and it was meant to imply that something I was doing wasn't up to par enough and could lead to someone being like in the emergency room or something. And I was doing dishes at the time, and this particular person was just like leaning over me, haranguing me about something really idiotic, small, petty, and it was just to lord it over me. It was just to be like, well, I'm blah, 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 like, here's my title. And no, it was not a staff nurse. It was somebody who's just the tiniest bit above me. Maybe she makes $1 more an hour. I don't even know. It's all so petty. And I know that I'm on the petty train myself right now, but I'm just struggling with my emotions and my moods. And there's no one to talk to. I've got you guys now. I've got this channel. I don't know what good it does me, but, there's times when being single really sucks. And there's no one to talk to about these things at night. And right now, me and Steve are not in a good place. Like, he has his own mood disorders and struggles. And, like, we just avoid each other. And I haven't heard from him for a couple weeks. And but I need his help with putting in my air conditioners. Although I could ask my son, I suppose. He's like super busy since he's been home from school. If I start sounding slurry, it's just because I took 2 melatonin so I can sleep tonight. I work 8 to 4 tomorrow, so I got to get up at 7 at the very latest so I can shower and have coffee and a smoke and like clean up a little bit before I go to work. Choose what I'm going to wear and stuff. But yeah, so there was something implied that I wasn't proficient enough at, which was a very, very small thing. And it's something I can do in my sleep. Like, I am a very natural caregiver. I make shit for money, and there's no prestige whatsoever in the job. But I'm really proud that those patients, for lack of a better word, the residents, love me, trust me. They light up when I show up for work. They ask me when I'm coming back. They hug me. They smile at me. Some of them slap me and call me names too, but that's their behavioral issues. We had a couple of real screamers today, let me tell you. We have one resident that will scream at the top of her lungs for like 4 hours. But I am getting better at tuning it out and not taking it too personally. But it's hard. It's difficult. And it's nights like that when I'm just like, why don't I just work at fucking Dunkin Donuts or McDonald's? Like, if I'm going to be in this position in my life where I'm never going to get anywhere and never be able to afford anything or get an education or take classes or get out of debt or just do anything besides pay bills and die, then maybe I should just work at Dunkin Donuts. I could earn like $1 more an hour than I make now. But so I turned to this coworker today. I know I'm all over the place. I apologize. And I looked at her and I go, yes, you don't think I know what dysphagia means? I'll bet you don't even know what it means. Even my kids joke with me all the time that it's amazing that they could name any condition to me or any medication, and I'll know how to pronounce it, spell it, what it's for, what it treats, and the official names of these conditions. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that, like, I'm not even being utilized to my full potential in the job. And then there's other people who are on the low rung of the ladder who are almost proud of slacking off and being lazy and doing the least amount possible because they have the mindset of like, well, I'm getting paid diddly shit, so I'm going to try to like not do anything. And I hate that I'm lumped into that group of people. People who don't want to strive to get ahead or get like a better career or a profession or a vocation, and they're just settling. And I know I do look like that's what I'm doing, but there are reasons. There are legitimate reasons for it, and I'm not lazy. You guys know I'm not lazy. I'm 53 years old with a host of health problems, and this week I'm working 68 hours. And no, I don't have a choice. I'm $20,000 in debt, and I don't receive help or aid or anything, and I've got a lot of bills. And it's such a struggle, because even though I'm going to get paid this Thursday, and it'll be a fairly decent check, it's all going to go on the stack of bills I've got, and every single time I talk about this and bitch and moan about it, I say the same thing over and over, which is like, well, first I really should buy groceries and then worry about the other stuff. But I don't do that. To emulate something that Shannon was saying tonight in her, as usual, very excellent, spot-on video about Amberlynn Reid's latest atrocity, she was talking about grocery money and stuff too, and how if you know how to plan, no matter what kind of budget you're on, and if you know how to cook and like store your food and things, you can be single and spend like 80 or $100 a month. And that sounds outlandish to most people, but if you're smart, you can do that. And I think she said that she does her bills, then her animals, then herself. And I do the same thing. I put like gas in my car. I always make sure I have pet food and supplies. Usually when I get paid, the first thing I do is go on Chewy.com and I get food, bird seed for the indoor and outdoor birds, and now ducks, cat litter, cat treats, sometimes even a cat toy or like an accessory for the bird cage. You know the drill. I've done Chewy unboxings before, but and then I pay the bills and I circle off on my calendar what I have coming in, what's due, what's the minimum, what's the most I can pay, because I'm trying to pay down my debt and stuff like that. And then if there's anything left over, I'll buy food, which is dumb because obviously I have to eat. But one of the very, 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 very few perks of my job is that I can eat there. It's not always food I really want or anything, but I prepare a lot of the meals and I do a good job at that, and I eat. Tonight I made, I sauteed up in a pan garlic, peppers, onions, olive oil, and then I made like a marinara sauce. Oh, and I browned up a bunch of ground turkey, because a lot of the houses don't use beef at all. They use like ground chicken or turkey. Whenever I say ground turkey or chicken, I think about our Goral. I can't stand when things remind me of her. But and I made like not just the veggie pasta, but like the really, really dark green one. It's almost like black. It's got like 5 kinds of greens in it. So that was my healthy meal today. That was good. And in the morning, I usually have eggs and sometimes a couple sausages or a piece of toast. Sometimes cereal. Always coffee. Always coffee. And I love half and half. And yes, I am still going to weigh myself Wednesday no matter what. I've not been eating mindfully at all. I've been feeling very almost self-abusive with food. Not binging. I don't really know like what anybody like thinks of as a binge. I guess it's like enormous quantities of food or calories at one time, but I don't really do a proper binge because even though I'm obese and everything still, my stomach pouch is still intact from the surgery I had all those years ago, and I can't physically gorge myself at any one time. I can graze throughout the day and get in a lot of calories that way, but I just feel very like angry when I eat lately, and very like self-destructive, self-punitive, self-comforting, all the same ways I felt and would act when I was drinking, when it felt like you were erasing problems and numbing myself out with food or alcohol, and really the problems are just still there, and now you've got an extra problem, whether it's a hangover or like 5 extra pounds of water weight or whatever you want to call it. I do feel very swollen lately, and I haven't been following carbs or fat grams or calories or sodium, or I usually don't, because instinctively I know how to eat. I know that I'm supposed to eat protein and good healthy vegetable source fats, and like, I try to get the local real eggs, and I get the grass-fed butter, and I sometimes even get like the grass-fed beef when I can afford it, and fresh fruits and vegetables, and like, it's really common sense. It's pretty damn basic. Sometimes nuts, berries. I love berries. Oh my God. But like, the way I eat lately is just with a real fuck it attitude. But I'm not going to go so far off track that I'm going to wind up not weighing in or continuing to try, because then I feel like I will end up like Amberlynn Reid. If not 560 pounds, but in that attitude of like, I can't control this, and it's my anxiety and depression, and I have a binge monster, and, excuse. No matter what's going on in my life, no matter what I'm feeling emotionally, I am in control of the choices of what I buy or smoke or eat or drink or do. I still have my intelligent faculties and I can, decide. Um, I never used to feel so sugary before, like sugar craving. What am I at? 20 minutes? No, not 20 minutes. I'm doing this in a different way. I'm recording straight from YouTube instead of like on my camera and then uploading it. So the timer is going in like a different way. But I should go to bed. I told myself to be in bed by 10. So I can get a solid 8 hours tonight, hopefully with the help of the melatonin. And there's a nice breeze coming through the window because we had severe thunderstorms earlier. Really crazy weather today. Like, it was rainy and then sunny and then rainy again and then beautiful and clear and calm and a beautiful sunset and then torrential thunder and downpour, torrential rain, downpours and tornado warnings and heavy winds, and the sky went black. And but now it's calm again. I've got that beautiful Indian flute music wafting in through the other room. Got my overhead fan on, so I've got a nice breeze on me. And I like to sleep like right up against the window so I can just hear the peepers and hear the rushing water and smell the outside rainy air. And yeah, this is an extraordinarily rambly, crazy video. I went to my P.O. box earlier. There was no mail. I'm still meaning to send letters to Heather, Donna, and Julie. You guys were all nice enough to send me cards and stuff, and you sent me those beautiful stones, Heather. Maybe it was a grandiose, crazy idea to get that box. It was expensive, and I'm probably not going to renew it, but, that's what I call, my magical thinking, where I'll get this idea and like, oh, everyone's going to be on board with this, and I'm suddenly going to have all these pen pals, and it's going to be so exciting to go to my P.O. box and see something. And, I know you guys are busy, and I know that people don't always write letters and stuff anymore. There's a reason why technology has made things super convenient with emails and texts and social media. And I wanted to quit YouTube and Facebook like 10 different times today. But I'm going to be stubborn and realize that I can hold on. And I'm not going to quit. This is a mood. This is a feeling. This is probably a chemical imbalance in my brain. I've got my therapy 10 o'clock Thursday morning. He sure is going to get an earful. And maybe I can break through some barriers and cry if I need to. But feelings aren't facts. They're feelings. And it's perception filtered through a lot of like blockages in my mind because of my mood disorders and depression. And I don't know, I feel like I just wish I could have a vacation, have a few days off to just like, I don't even know. I always say I dream of travel, and I get really, really jealous of people that can go places, and then I say to myself, but you wouldn't, like, because you need a partner or a friend to travel with. You need money, even for the most modest trip. Even when you do like a staycation and you do day trips or a weekend away, it costs so much money. It's ridiculous. Even if I spent the day in the city, because me and Ruth have been talking about going to the Bronx and going to like the botanical gardens and the Bronx Zoo, and we were trying to budget it out because she knows my situation. She's married, so she's got 2 incomes coming in, but I'm just floundering. I'm struggling to keep my head above water, but I'm still trying to remain grateful and optimistic somehow that maybe this will all change around. Maybe when the cult documentary airs, I'll get contacted by people that will encourage me to write my memoir, my book and stuff. And I still do write poetry, and I communicate as best as I can. Communicate with a lot of people today online about my feelings about Game of Thrones and all the outrage that's out there right now because of people not liking how it ended. I'm still perfectly fine with it. I'm going to go, you guys. I feel like I'm going to wind up uploading this and then like being self-conscious about it and deleting it. But peace out. Thank you for listening. I know a lot of you can relate, and I'm sure you dear friends of mine who have gotten to know me so far will offer me the hand of empathy, which I do appreciate, even though I can be a really bitter brat at times and really, really cranky. That's it. Good night. Love you guys.